So we are in the standard Tesla Model 3. Driving it for the first time. This is with their 18-inch Prismata wheels. At 100%, I get 321 miles, so it's the same as the Model Y, which is pretty crazy. They do have an optional 19-inch upgrade. It does drop your miles down by a lot, like to 303. Okay, a little quick acceleration test, 0 to 60. Yep, it still goes. You still feel that 0 to 60, 5.8. You still get that Tesla pep, even though the acceleration is not as fast. It's a good thing. All right, we're gonna take it on the curves here. Yeah, this feels like a normal Model 3, the premium Model 3, but like $5,000 cheaper. This is like the best bang for your buck vehicle, I feel like. So now we're on the curvy, bumpy road. Suspension feels good. Woo! I feel like I have much better control in the 3, going at faster speeds and kind of flooring it a little bit. U-turn test. Let's see how the U-turn is. Very good. It doesn't feel like the cheaper standard suspension. Yeah, this 3 is fun to drive still. But Tesla switched back to the standard multi-link suspension, the same from the legacy Model 3 that some people said felt nausea-inducing. But with these new wheels, does it actually feel any different? We're gonna do a quick speed bump test just to see how it is. It's pretty bone jarring, but it doesn't feel as bad when you're just driving normally. But you definitely feel the bumpiness. A little bit harsher than the current Model 3, but not so bad. Yeah, driving is not bad in a standard Tesla Model 3. But how comfortable is the suspension for passengers in the Model 3? So I got my water cup test. We're gonna see how much water spills. This is how much water there is. What the? Okay, that's a good amount of water already. So it's definitely a stiffer suspension, but it's not so uncomfortable. Oh, that is chilly. Which is kind of nice because we're at 82 degrees, only 10 o'clock in the morning. Crazy. Turn right. Oh man. Oh. Whew. So definitely it has the control and handling that you want. That quick, nimble control. If you ever have a friend who's, oh, the acceleration. So I apologize to whoever's gonna use this loaner after me, but I had to do the test for you guys. Oh, that was a wet one. Damn, hon. Every day Jan's driving like a maniac.
Car is so fun to drive.
So the handling still is good, right?
It's good, but I can feel that traction slip just a little bit.
Yeah, even she feels it.
But it is fun.
We got a bump coming up. Oh.
That wasn't too bad.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Not as bad as the legacy Model 3 and Ys for sure. No nausea. I am not nauseous. So that was a pretty interesting drive. Final result, I was at this top white line here, and I'm now at this secondary line. So definitely lost some water. And if you want a more relaxed drive, you can choose between chill and standard acceleration mode. But one big difference between the Model 3 and Y standard is that there's no option to choose reduced regenerative braking. And like all other Teslas, you still get true one-pedal driving. Overall, it's a very quiet ride, and it doesn't feel like I'm in a cheaper Tesla. Not too loud in here. So 67 dBs. At 70 miles per hour. Great visibility still. You still have the headliner roof. I still feel the heat. There's not a huge difference there. This is such a good value for what it is, which is crazy because I wish they did that with the Model Y. This might be the cheapest Tesla, but they didn't cheap out on tech. You still get the blind spot cameras that pop up when you hit the turn signals, and it flashes red if there's someone beside you, and you still get the red dot indicator too. We also have a front-facing camera, which is insane. Finally, all the Teslas have a front-facing camera. The crazy thing is, with the Model 3, I don't know if you noticed, gear stocks. That is insane. So we got gear stocks in the Model 3 now. Classic Tesla, right? They remove stuff, they add stuff. It's so funny. And now all Model 3s will have gear stocks and front cameras, which is awesome. This is insane. It's like same, but different. You still get all the same cameras and hardware 4 with the Ryzen chip. And you still have auto shift out of beta, meaning the car uses the cameras to know whether to reverse or go into drive, so you don't have to shift gears. But again, the most annoying thing about, I guess, the standard edition is that you get traffic aware cruise control, but you don't get autopilot. You don't get the staying in the lane thing. And that's very, surprising coming from Tesla, because Tesla originally always came with that autopilot standard, traffic aware cruise control, plus the auto steer. However, for the standard model, they're limiting it, which is very unfortunate in the Model Y standard as well as the Model 3 standard. Knowing Tesla, it is possible that it could change. So in order to have auto steer, you have to pay for the $8,000 full self-driving. So yeah, so this is normal cruise control. And the thing now is it's just not even gonna stay in the lane, which is crazy. It's gonna go everywhere. So that is unfortunate, but hopefully they change that because that's one thing I wish they would add. But another change, the charging is reduced from 250 kilowatts down to 225, which is still good compared to other EVs in its class. This is also the lightest of all the Tesla Model 3 lineups because they removed some batteries. So now it's a 69.5 kilowatt hour battery, saves on cost, but not the miles, which is crazy. Like, it still has a lot of miles. It still feels good. And that's the one thing the Tesla engineers said, is that they could have made the Model 3 even cheaper, but they wanted to make sure that they never go below 300 miles. So even though it's a standard model, it still has one motor, rear-wheel drive. So 0 to 60, 5.8 seconds, not the fastest. Tesla's goal with the standard Model 3 was to make it affordable. So they made some changes to save on cost. First off, the steering wheel adjustment is now manual, not a big deal. I feel like it's missing something. We don't get that steering feel feature because I think it's a manual steering wheel. You lose a lot of the electronic features. But another thing Tesla changed to get that more affordable $40,000 price is the seats. First of all, they removed the seat button, so now you have to do it all through the screen, and it does take some getting used to. I asked the Tesla engineers, and they said since your driver profile remembers your seat position in any Tesla, the idea is once you set it, you should never have to touch it again. That's why they got rid of the manual controls. But in my experience, when I switch from one Tesla to another, the driver profiles don't always work. Is it just me? Let me know in the comments below. The cool thing with the cloth seats though is they didn't just make it the entire thing cloth seats. I like how they did the leather here, the cloth in the major areas, and it's very comfortable. It's 98 degrees right now, and it still doesn't feel like I have sweaty back syndrome. But a very nice drive. I'm very impressed with the Model 3 Standard Edition. Overall, the driving dynamics is very good. Even though it has a standard suspension, it still feels great. Side mirrors. My favorite function is when I arrive into my garage, it knows my location and automatically folds. Now, if you want to do that with the standard Model 3 or Y, you have to go and do it yourself because it's manually folding. Something to keep in mind. So while the Model 3 Standard didn't get much love in terms of design changes, it's actually a good thing. Being able to keep most of the more premium Model 3 features like the Matrix headlights and the glass roof makes it a really good buy. And I thought it would have a rougher, worse suspension, but I didn't feel like a noticeable difference compared when I drive like a normal all-wheel drive Model 3. It still felt very comfortable, handled great. Had a little water dropped on me, as you can see, but it still was a great vehicle. Making the Tesla Model 3 Standard a great value.